Here in the Ardennes, in this part of Belgium, it's very well known that there used to be witches here. That is why they are so displayed like this. Here in the, Promenade de Legende is basically a trail that you can walk through all of the legends. And one of these legends is being called the witches, or how they call it here, les sorcières, or the heksen in my language. Means actually the witches, basically. So in fact, the witches, why are they all female? This is actually what I ask ever since I was a child. Why are there also, for example, male witches? I was asking myself this: are there male witches? And they always said no, they are only female witches. And if I can read this sign, they are. If the sign says they are all women, they are all women of all ages. In most stories, it's about that they have a pact with the devil or something like this. That is what the sign says. That is what they used to believe. So we actually, as witches, we as male witches, we were actually much more safe than the female witches. They always had to hide themselves all the time. But how about dragon witches? What is about that? Actually, I have to be very honest, there is a great difference between male and female dragons. So which also with male and female dragon witches. So if we are, for example, natural way of female, I've seen and met a lot of dragon witches. But actually, they have all these different energies surrounding with them. Of course, they are all connected with the dragons just like we are, but there is a difference with them. Like I said, every dragon is different, but also depends on their gender. And I actually wasn't expecting this in the beginning of my path, that there would be such a great difference between male and female dragons, but also male and female witches and participants of dragon magic. So whatever we use, actually whatever I use a lot of male energy. And so because I'm a male myself, but it can be, and that is also the possibility, that inside of yourself that you have energy from a complete different gender, and that you are basically balancing your own energies. That is the same with your darkness and with your light, but also with your gender energy. And that is actually very important to know, actually, how much of this energy that lives inside of you, so that you can participate inside of your own rituals, and that you know what you have to look for. You are actually not, oh my goodness, you are actually not like this one gender that they said. You are not like how they displayed here, that most of the time they found female witches inside of these forests here. But in fact, how come that they never found a male? I actually don't know, because I don't know every branch of being a witch. I don't know that. But inside of the branch of being a dragon witch, I know that there is a lot of difference between male and female, but it's just the same amount of people that found themselves on the side and inside the path of the dragon as male and female. I don't know, maybe in Wicca in itself, Wicca is much more attracted, normal Wicca is actually a religion that is much more attracted to female. But of course there are also in Wicca in itself male witches, of course. But there are a lot more female. And that is why they said, like the sign said, they are only women of all ages. Only women. So that is incorrect in the Dragon's Path. So we are 50-50. So 50-50. And if we don't, actually you can find yourself the opposite energy inside of yourself, or maybe the dragon by your side most of the time is the opposite energy of what you have. And actually that is also something that you have to find out, the energy inside of yourself. What is it? What is it? I came to find out, for example, my dragon by my side is a male, is very much a male, and I myself too. But the energy from my goddess is, like I said, it's a goddess. So an energy that is very female. And together we balance them all. We balance all the energies together, so that we find out actually what we truly are capable of. And that is how we can follow the shadow of our dragons. We actually shouldn't follow the dragon shadows. We should actually follow the shadow that we all have. The shadow that you don't know that you have. The shadow of the dragon, your own shadow. That is what you should actually follow. That is the dragon's path. And in following this, you have to understand your true self. Of course, I've had 18 years to understand my own self. But in these 18 years, I still don't understand everything. So I still need to find out who I truly am and what I am capable of and what kind of energies that lives inside. Because a dragon in itself, or the participants of the dragon's energy, are actually very complex, and you have to put the puzzle pieces together. And in doing so, you have to have a lot of years, and you don't have to be afraid to sometimes go back on your path, to admit to yourself that you were wrong, and you have to find yourself back on square one. For example, that you have to go back and dare to go back and dare to say to yourself, I was mistaken, I have to go back. So in understanding yourself, you also have to explore the many genders that lives inside of you, the genders of the dragons. And also, there can be more than one energy living inside of you, more than one, and that they have more energies than one. And they are actually trying to say to you who you truly are. So, like I said, don't come to conclusions too fast on the dragon's path. Your conclusions, you actually don't have to come to conclusions. You just need to understand it. And sometimes you need your dragon by your side in order to let you understand who you truly are. So, a way of understanding is not coming from one day. So a dragon witch is the most complex witch of them all, even though we are not all female or male. But that is just it. We are all together. We are all at once. We are the most complex of them all. We are not coming together in for example, in gatherings here, like in these first, all of these females that they were so afraid of. So look at how they are displayed. They are just so, scary and sometimes ridiculous. But look at how this witch, for example, this flying witch, where is she? Where is she? There is she. She gives me the creeps. What the hell? Yes, imagine if we look like that. You might not see it, but the eyes, my goddess, these are demonic puppets. Demonic, but that is just it. We are not demonic. We are draconic, and that is also what I imagine, that all of these other branches of being a witch or Wicca in itself are actually, most of the time, nice people or good people, that they just want to participate in where they belong. Of course, back in the day, that was not allowed, or else the church will murder you, and that is exactly what happened. That is why these poor women back in the day, they needed to be hidden all the time, and now they are displayed like some kind of a freak show. And that is so bad. Of course, you just need to understand your true self, and that is very important on the dragon's path. I cannot say who you are. That is something for you to discover, and that is why I say being a dragon witch, or going inside of the shadow of the dragon. And by saying shadow of the dragon, I do not mean another dragon. I mean you. I mean you have to follow your own self, and you have to understand the shadow where it's on. And all of the energies that live with you, that are attached to you, that are connected to you. And your dragon by your side is the best teacher in teaching you who you truly are and what you are capable of. So we can come together like these witches are, but it will only be for just a celebration of our connection that we have with our dragons. But we cannot tell you who you truly are. We are not that kind of a witch that comes together and just, you are like this and you are like that. I can only say to you what kind of a color that you might have. That is something that I can do. That is something that you can do as well. We are capable of doing many things, but we shouldn't interfere in discovering our true self. Because like I said, it can be male, it can be female. Actually, I have to admit, my circle that I have, it's basically all male. Just Tiamat is just very much 100% female, but she is more like a mother, and my dragon is, yeah, my teacher. And I myself is the one that needs to discover truly who I am and what I am capable of. Actually, our magic is the oldest form of magic. We are using the energy from nature, of a primal force of nature that we are trying to bring up, that we are trying to understand, that is also living inside of us. Not to have this Hollywood magic, but this magic for opening gates of the dragons so that they can be with us, that they can live with us, that they can guide us. That is what we are actually basing our magic on. But in order to use this magic, you need to understand of your true self. So actually energy from Tiamat also lives within, but also connection with my dragon, which is, and that is all of us form a perfect balance together. And this balance is something that you need to find together, and that is you need to understand you in the first place, and then you need to understand the dragons that are connected to you. So, and why they are connected to you. Don't take anything for granted. Everything should be questioned. Nothing should be like, oh, okay, there's a dragon, that is it. No, ask yourself why this is. Why are they attracted to you? Why do you want to be a dragon witch in the first place? What makes you a dragon witch, and what makes you to understand what you are capable of? Why are you capable of so many things? Why these gifts? That is something that you need to understand for yourself. It's all one big puzzle piece that needs to be put together, and you need time for that. So you don't need to say, I have to do this from one day to another. Of course not. Of course. But of course, this is something new, because dragon witches are someone, like I said before, grey witches that actually didn't say that they were witches, or they didn't do something like this coming together. They just were in their basements or in their cellars and doing rituals alone. Like I have my dragon altar on my altar, dragon altar on my bedroom to get, for my eyes only. Of course, now I am so proud of it. I just want to shout to the world, dragon everywhere. But of course, everyone doesn't see this as serious, but I see it as very much serious. It's a part of my life. My shadow is that of a dragon, and I follow it. I follow that because it feels that we are like this. We are not simply witches. We are like that. It's our lives. And if we are confused, of course, confusion belongs with it. If you are not confused, then you don't ask yourself too much questions. You should be confused in this dragon's path, as that is the first thing of a dragon witch. You are confused as hell, and that is a good thing. It means that you are connected with the dragons, and that's all one whirlpool of energies and emotions. This is something to discover. This is something to connect with. Your own true shadow. You should be confused in the beginning. And you should be filled with questions. That is the entire point of it. Male, female, dark, light, all come together. But there will only be one dragon energy like you. You are unique. I cannot say who you truly are. That is up for you to discover.